This don't sound right. I'm missing something. Yes, you are. So when I'm thinking about you, babe, you see us down there all the time. It's not a second, minute, hour passes, babe, without thoughts of you running through my mind. Yeah. See, darling, when I'm all alone, sometimes my thoughts they turn to you, and I can't help myself. Sometimes I wanna holler, sometimes it makes me moan, baby. I say, next day I'm calling out your name. See, darling, I just thought I'd let you know, 'cause I just gotta let you know the way you're making me feel. Yeah, oh, you make a brother say,
Being from Iowa as a blues singer has been instrumental for me, because one of the things that blues has always been, in my opinion, is remarkably geographic. The sound that you hear is usually connected to where you're from. If you are a blues singer and you're from Mississippi, your music has to sound a certain kind of way. So, and folks go, "Oh, he's from Mississippi." You know, if you're from Louisiana, same thing. If you're from Chicago, same thing. But if you're from Iowa, there's no definitive fingerprint for what you expect. And that gives me a pretty open canvas to work from. And the thing that I draw most from inside of my music from that end is the emotion that each area has put into the music. That's the common denominator to me, from Texas to Tennessee to Mississippi to wherever you want to pull blues from. It's the emotion and the personal story and connection to each story that's being told.
but this song I wrote, it's all about the idea of love at first sight, but you can't do nothing about it. I was actually in New York City. I was in an off-Broadway play. Got the opportunity to play a blues singer in an off-Broadway play in New York City. Go figure. You know, I love typecasting. It worked well for me. But I was in New York for about 40 days. Just going to play rehearsal and then soaking up New York. Every morning before play rehearsal, I'd get off the train and I'd go up to this little bagel shop that wasn't much bigger than one of these picnic tables on the inside. There was a counter, there was fresh bagels, there was another little counter and a big window and two stools. And I'd sit at one of those stools, and nobody ever sat next to me. I never saw anybody else actually sitting in the stools. They would come in, get their stuff, and be gone. So in the morning, I'd sit there and I'd look out and I'd look to see the folks that walked in. And I'm used to here. In Iowa, there's people have routines. You know, if I go to get coffee every morning, I'm gonna see a whole bunch of the same faces every minute. Before a week's done, I'm saying, "Hey, Jenny, hey, Bob, hey, Jesse," and they're asking me about my kids, because we've gotten to know each other. It ain't like that in New York, you know. And so, about the third day I was there, I was watching folks walk past as I was sitting in the window looking out. And I said to myself, because, you know, you talk to yourself when you're in places you don't know nobody. I said, what if love at first sight hit somebody in a place like this? And then they just disappeared, got swept away by this tsunami of humanity that's walking by out here. I'd never seen foot traffic like that before. You know, it gets bad here when the students are in session, but this is 100 times that. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I thought, oh, that's a fleeting thought. Then the next day it came back and expanded a little bit. And the next day, I kept coming to the same story. So I was like, all right, I guess I better write this story. About 30 days into being in New York, working on this little song, my wife came out because she was going to hang out and watch the play, you know, do its thing, and we were going to sightsee. And I was anxious for her to get there. I told her about the song. When she got there, I played this song for her and told her the whole story. And she was like, oh, that's such a pretty song. Who was she? Oh, hey. It's not what you think. This song's called Something Special About You, and it almost ended my marriage. All right, so it goes like this. I see you walking by my door in a smile, 'cause I like what I see, so I run outside. I try to catch you, but you've already passed me by. I go back inside, but I can't seem to get you, baby, off my mind. I keep thinking about you, wondering about you. I don't even know your name, but somehow I feel my life has changed, because I feel the need to let you know, baby, that you move me in a special way. I just want one chance to say that there is something special about you, baby. Make me smile each and every time I think about your pretty face, and there is something special about you, baby. Make me smile and want to get to know you just a little bit better. And maybe someday, baby, you pass by my way again, and I'ma run outside and I'ma grab you by your hand, and I'ma tell you right there, right then, darling, just how much I wanna be your man, baby. Oh, and I know that just might scare you away, but that's a chance I have to take. I can't go another second, minute, hour, darling, without knowing your name, 'cause you see, you're some kind of superstar. At least I think that you are, because you shine so much brighter than all the others by far. There's something special about you, baby. Make me smile each and every time I think about your pretty face, and there is something special about you, baby. Make me smile and want to get to know you just a little bit better. And maybe someday, baby, I'll see you and you'll see me, and eyes will meet from across the crowded room, and I'll smile, you'll smile back at me, and then I tell you exactly what it is that you and me are gonna do, honey. Whoa, we gonna walk up to each other and grab each other by the hand. I'm gonna say something kind of cool about you, and you're gonna look at me and say, hey, baby, I feel the same way about you too. And then I'm gonna tell you about that day when you pass right by my way, and then you know exactly how long, darling, I've been waiting to say it's something special about you, baby. Make me smile each and every time I think about your pretty face, and there is it's something special about you, baby. Make me smile and want to get to know you just a little bit better. It's something special about you, baby. Make me smile each and every time I think about your pretty face, and there is it's something special about you, baby, that makes me smile and want to get to know you. Thank you very much.
The way that music brings people together, in my observation, is that that thing that is common, that emotional connection to the music, that rawness in the stories, those are common ground for everybody. One of my favorite blues artists posed a question to an audience in Germany. And not everybody speaks the language, but everybody understands the blues. And so if you know what that is, that thing that you feel when you can't find the words. My job as an entertainer, as a songwriter, is to help you to find, to come up with the words. And when I sing them and I do it right, that gives you a place to let those feelings go, and it ends up being common ground. And that feeling is that thing that I can compare it to like visual art. Anybody can slap color on a canvas and stick it on the wall, but it doesn't become art until somebody's walking past it, they look at it, and in that moment they forget to breathe.
When I'm kissing my love, such a tender, with a sweet young brain. She's so good at what she does, all she wanna do is kiss and hug it. She got me in love, and I can feel my heart just a thumping and it's skipping. When I'm kissing my love, when I'm kissing my love, when I'm kissing my baby, when I'm kissing my love.
The emotion of the story is, in my opinion, it's the American story. It's not just a song. It is the plight, the suffrage, the triumph of black folks. Bottom line is through slavery, this was born. Not because of slavery, but in spite of slavery. Our ancestors chose to sing to get through it, and that hasn't changed. We still, when we're in a moment where we don't want to be exactly where we are, we put headphones on, and it takes us someplace else. Sometimes it's fantasy, sometimes it's truth, but at the time that we deliver it, if it connects to you, in my opinion, that's your blues. That's that emotional escape that you're looking for. That thing that can transform your worst day to a better day. That thing that transforms your best day to an even better day, and confirms that this was my best day because I'm listening to my favorite music. We do that, and it's a reflex now. When an audience hears a song done the right way, it hits them in that special place. You can't beat that. Those goosebumps are rare. And when somebody can deliver a song with the right level of emotion and it connects to yours, that moment is a magic moment.
I've been watching you, honey, seeing everything you do. I've been watching you, baby, I'm seeing everything that you do well. I've been watching you, baby, for a mighty long, long time, yeah. You got me busy, baby, dreaming about the day I get to call you mine, yeah.
When black music is done the right way, it creates that moment. It goes from just being air moving in a moment to artistry.
I've been watching you, darling. Well, I see you in my dreams. I've been watching you, baby. I said I see you in my dreams. I've been watching you, baby. It's not as strange, child, as it might seem. No, 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 no. Just think about it, baby, baby. Someday you might be digging on watching me, yeah. I've been watching you. I've been watching you. got me busy, baby, dreaming about all the day I'll get to call you mine, yeah. Thank you very much.
Predominantly, the racial makeup of the audiences that I play to are white. For the majority of my career, it's been that way based on the majority of the venues that I get the opportunity to perform in. In black neighborhoods and places where I grew up, there are very few live music venues on the black side of town. So a lot of times we end up performing blues music for not black audiences, and not because black folks don't enjoy the music. It's because honestly they either don't know that it's a show that's going on, or they don't feel comfortable going into that area and trying to get home later in the evening. There have been a handful of times that I've faced racial situations at different shows. A handful of them were very early in my career. Some of them were truly out of, for lack of a better term, brazened ignorance of not knowing. One of the things that as a black man you develop a sense about is when something is being brought to you with a malicious intent, and when something's brought to you by someone just because they don't know any better. And there's a difference. And one's an opportunity to have a teaching moment, and the other one's an opportunity to either engage or just let it go to the universe, if you will. Because you know you're in a spot where you're not going to win that moment. I was at a small town, Iowa, performing, and a gentleman walked up to me, elderly gentleman, I'd say at least in his late 60s. Had been at the bar, well known at the bar, and he walked up to me and said, you know, I was in the army with a nigger. And I looked up to him, and he had the biggest smile on his face. And the only thing I could look at him and say was, really? And I let him finish his story. And I politely said to him, you know, the term nigger is not a comfortable term for us to share with each other. I don't refer to anybody that I care about with that term. And I'd encourage you to do the same, sir. And he said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. But that's what they called him back then. And he hadn't had exposure to black folks probably since. And there was no maliciousness intended. And he spoke nothing but care and love for that individual. But at the time, that's what everybody called that gentleman in the army that he was there with. And so he just thought that was what black folks were called. And now, you know, hopefully at this point he knows that there's no kindness in that. Another time that I was at an event, I walked into the place, and at the time I had a predominantly black band, and I heard one of the patrons ask the bartender, "What's all these niggas doing here?" And that one had that ugly feel to it. And so I was pleased to hear the bartender go, "You have to leave." And I didn't have to have that confrontation. The bartender said, "That's not happening here. You know, matter of fact, you're not welcome here again, because that's not what's going to happen. That's not the way this is going to go." And so I've seen it. You know, there's been a lot more things that have happened, but those two were two of the more just obvious, it was obvious to me the difference between a malicious intent and I just didn't know any better moment. Both of them were easily fixed. Both of them were easily rectified. And I'm thankful to both venues for doing, for allowing what was right to be done.
This song's called Your Smile, and I wrote it because for me, I would never know if my babies are okay if they didn't smile. I spend a lot of time trying to make them smiles exist, just so that I know everything's okay. It's not perfect, it's not great, but okay is a good starting point. So hope that you dig on this. In my head, it goes like this here. I wanna see you every day and night just to make sure everything's alright because you know you're your daddy's little girl. And you know that daddy always wants to be here for your babies and make sure everything is alright in your world. Wanna hold you in my arms, keep you safe and warm, don't you know you got your daddy screaming out loud. Each and every time you're out there, baby's doing what you do. You know you make your daddy so proud. You make my life worthwhile. You make my life worthwhile. Oh, darlings, when I see you smile, na-di, 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 na. One day you gonna spread your wings and fly away, and that's okay, cause baby daddy understands that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, and daddy's gonna cry that day, but don't you worry, baby's good. That's what daddy's supposed to do too. Just remember, no matter where you go, no matter where you roam, your daddy's waiting with open arms. What to give you that big daddy bear hug, baby, as soon as you step one foot back in your home. Because you made my life worthwhile. Oh, you made my life worthwhile just to see you smile. Na-di-na-di-na-di-na-di-na. Just to see you smile. Na-di-na-di-na-di-na-na. Oh, when I see you smile. Na-di-na-di-na-di-na-di-na-na. Just to see you smile. Well, all right. Thank you very much.
In my opinion, black music has influenced Iowa in that we get 360 degrees of influence. Whatever the sound is from Minneapolis is an influence to Iowa. It doesn't have to just be from that area. If you live in Minneapolis and black music is influencing a sound, that's what you're working from. What I do with music doesn't just come from a sound out of Chicago. It doesn't just come from a sound out of Kansas City or St. Louis. It comes from all of that, and it's my responsibility as an artist to create something unique from all of those influences.
When I'm kissing my love, when I'm kissing my love, when I'm kissing my baby, oh, when I'm kissing my love. Well, all right.
Inside the state of Iowa, you'll see that there's 8 active blues societies across this state. It's not just because, they've heard the music, but it's because black artists from this area have introduced them to the music the right ways. We've given of ourselves. The one thing that we've not done is built the mechanisms to own the business part of it. We've been the providers. I've said this on different occasions. We make it cool, but white folks make it profitable. And at some point in time, I really hope that we decide to own what we give, to own our own intellectual property, to own the events that we can put on just as well, and include us. We build us as a community, because we could do that. And we've got the business folks, we've got the media folks, we've got spoken word artists, we've got hip hop artists, we've got rappers, we've got reggae artists, we've got any number of soul and blues performers, we've got rock guys, we've got country folks, we've got every genre of music that they want to try and separate us out of inside of this state, represented by us. But until we embrace that and support it, it's going to be something that we are handing away, because that's the way we get paid.
See, all you know, say was I don't want to see you no more. Please, baby, can't you just come on home? Well, you've been gone too long. You see, I just been sitting here waiting up and praying. Baby, you come walking through the door. I've been sitting here night after night after night after night after night, baby, yeah. Crying on the floor, reading that note over and over and over and over again. I don't want to see you no more, yeah. I don't want to see you no more. You see, my baby got me crying. Said she don't want to see me no more. Got me asking her why, oh why? Don't you want to see me no more? She packed the things, she walked right out the door. Left a note that said she don't want to see me no more.